Hello there, my name is liambughood. I'm a 15-year-old phonograph collector from Pennsylvania, and I've just started out collecting phonographs. Got my first phonograph in August 2021, on August 12th, an Amberola 30, and I'm new to the phonograph collecting scene, relatively speaking, and I'm going to be making these videos, these phonographs for dummies videos, to basically get beginners introduced to cylinder phonographs in an easy to follow way. So this series is going to start off with things super basic, like basic terminology of phonographs, parts, names for those parts, how to operate them, how to play records and such like that. And as I go on, it will get into more complicated things like repairs, maintenance, and reproducer rebuilds, and things like that. Anything that I can demonstrate and or show you and pass on my knowledge that I have received from lots of other collectors. So I'm basically going to be making these videos to get anyone new to phonographs or anyone interested in the topic some basic knowledge, since I was there very recently. So let's begin with this first video. It's going to be very basic. It's just going to be basic operation of a very easy to understand, very widely available cylinder phonograph model, operation of an Edison Standard Model B phonograph designed to play 2-minute cylinder records. Let's get into that. All right, so I'm going to be holding the camera, so excuse the shakiness. Now, to operate a cylinder phonograph like this, like an Edison Standard, you're going to need a crank, a record, and the phonograph itself. So you take the crank, and there's a hole right there. Put in the hole, and then it catches. And then you turn it clockwise to screw it in. And then, once you feel tension on it, so you'll start to feel right there. You can see there's tension. That's when you're going to start cranking the wind of the spring motor in there. And when I crank, since it provides tension, it can sometimes slide around on a table. So I'm going to hold my hand, my left hand here, and then take my right hand and crank it clockwise. So I'm just going to put my phone back so you can see that. Come on. There we go. Put that back, hold it, and crank it clockwise. Now, I usually turn it about 20 cranks or so. You can really just turn it until you feel like it's good, once you feel a certain amount of tension, but really it depends on the machine. So you just keep cranking it, and I think that's about good, feeling a bit more tension. So now, to I let it go back counterclockwise, the handle go back, and then there you go. And sometimes if you don't kind of guide the handle back and you just let go, it can go back and it can unwind the spring all at once, which you don't want that to happen, because that happened on my Amberola 30 right here, and it broke. And now, as you can see right here, I have to get the spring replaced, which I'm waiting on, but I'm also waiting on a lot of other parts, because I'm basically doing a full, I can't do this with one hand because I can't line it up. Hold up. Sorry, I couldn't line that up, the hole up with the part there, so I would just keep it. But, I'm repairing that. And a spring broke on that machine, so you always want to be careful when winding it up. Alright, so after you wind it up, I'm going to open the end gate, which is what centers the mandrel, so you can see it centers it. Now you're going to have that open, take your record, have your two fingers, so your index finger and your middle finger, put them together, and then get the record, and then there, hold it like that to prevent your other fingers from touching the groove. And then you just slide it on the mandrel. And now, close the end gate. And I like to just push it on a bit until it's snug. Don't try and force it on if it's not going to go on anymore and you feel like it's possibly going to break or something. Don't force it if you don't need to. So just until it's snug like that. Now, going to want to switch the brake off, and it starts going. And then you're going to want to take this stopper, this right here, grab it. I like to lift it up, pull it out, and then search for the the beginning of a record. So when there's no music or speaking, where it's just static.
That's the reason Knew I Wear a Kilt, sung by Harry Lauder, Edison Records.
And there you go. And then to stop it, you just push the brake lever back, and that's how you operate an Edison cylinder phonograph. Now, obviously, it's not the same for every phonograph. Some are different. Some have a brake in a different location. So, say, like I said, my Amber Roll 30, you can see the brake is right here instead of in the center, but still pushes left. But a lot of them are very similar. Most of them have a brake mandrel. A lot of them have an end gate. Some models don't, but this one does. A lot of earlier Edison homes, I believe, do. A lot of different models. It really depends from model to model. But yeah, that's how you operate a cylinder phonograph. Very, very simple, straightforward machine. And I hope this video is very clear as a guide. So that's about it for this video. Next video, I'm going to go over the vocabulary and function of everything on the top of a bed plate of this phonograph. So I'm basically going to go, tell you what the reproducer is, what the feed screw is, the carriage rod, and all that. So yeah, hope you enjoy. Hope you learned something.